Neal Boudette, as the guy who broke that news about the corporate jet fiasco when our automakers, when they went to Washington to appeal to our lawmakers, and they did it by corporate jet, they didn't go via their vehicles. Wall Street Journal, you broke that story, didn't you?
Yeah, it's kind of an odd story. Just a few days before the hearings, this was back in the fall of 2008, I got a call from somebody at Chrysler who mentioned he was heading out to the LA Auto Show, and I said, don't you have to go to the airport? And he said, oh no, we're taking the jet. And I said, you're taking the jet? And this was at a time when Chrysler and GM were essentially out of money. And I thought it was odd that they would fly a corporate jet to the LA Auto Show rather than take a commercial flight and save the money given their tough financial situation. Then we called around and found out, asked how are the CEOs getting down to Washington, and they told us all three companies, Ford, GM, and Chrysler, oh, we're taking the corporate jet. And it just seemed out of place to fly a corporate jet and then ask for public money. They were talking about $25 billion. And we wrote something fairly short on our website, just pointing out, not a slam, not a hatchet job, but just pointing out that that's an awkward juxtaposition to fly on corporate jets and
Certainly.
ask for a bailout.
Yeah.
And once it was on our website, it was noticed by other people and repeated, and then I have to give credit to ABC News. They're the ones who sent the camera crew over to the airport.
Don't you think that was the turning point for the auto industry, for becoming more real?
You know, in hindsight, it was the best thing that's ever happened for the American auto industry. They're unshackled now. They've lowered their costs, and the most amazing thing to me is that the United States has suddenly become very, very competitive in auto manufacturing. Yeah. Nissan, Honda, Toyota, all of them are now expanding their production plants in the United States so they can make cars in the U.S. and export them to other markets around the world. Right. It's astounding. BMW, Mercedes, both have plans. BMW's in South Carolina, Mercedes in Alabama. They're expanding those, and they're exporting from there. So the United States has become very, very competitive in automaking, not just Detroit. And this is a great thing. The automakers, the Detroit 3, over the next 3 or 4 years, are planning to spend about $20 billion expanding plants, modernizing plants, all across the Midwest. This is almost like a Marshall Plan for the Rust Belt. It's dramatic. The Ford plant in Kansas City, Ford is going to invest $1 billion there. So they're buying all kinds of new equipment, which means there are contractors who've got to install it. There are transportation companies who have to deliver this stuff. There are caterers who are going to be feeding these people. It's a great, it's a boon for Kansas City. I mean, it's not going to turn around the whole U.S. economy, but it is a very good shot in the arm.
Great to hear it. Great to hear it. And nice meeting you finally from the Wall Street Journal Detroit Bureau Chief, Neal Boudette. It will make you a regular on our show.
Absolutely.
In touch with you.
And come back.
Damian Farrell Design Group, and Damian on Design each Saturday. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're listening to Business Talk 1290, the Lucy Ann Land Show on 1290 WLBY.